Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 12th of May. Happy Mother's Day. And ending Friday, the 17th. Options expiration for the month of May. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Slipped back over the last 2 weeks after trying to break out the new highs. It's kind of a failed breakout, actually. Puts us back in the range we've been stuck in for quite a while. The euro dollar is obviously the inverse of the dollar index, as it always is. Not much there. Pound dollar sitting right in the middle of what has been a horrible year of 800 pips of range for the year. Aussie dollar near the lows of a narrow range. Euro yen, not much there. Pound yen, also not much there, mid-range. New Zealand dollar, that one's moved a little bit lately, but all these are so. The last 12 months has been some of the lightest Forex trading. We need some major economic world news to get things moving here. Here's the week and 30-minute candles on the euro dollar high to low for the week. This is what's really bad. Only about 90 pips for the whole week. Remember, we usually trade 120 to 130 pips per day on the euro. 90 for the whole week is horrible. The pound dollar high to low for the week is about 200 pips. Most of it was Monday and Tuesday, though. After that, we were just dead flat, so there's not much to do. There's no signals in terms of counts on the daily charts. There's no real patterns to look for breakouts or anything like that. There's nothing. It's just straightforward intraday trading in narrow range, which is the definition of what we don't like to see in Forex. Let's go over the economic data that's coming out this week. So Sunday with the FPI out of New Zealand, home loans out of Australia. Monday, leading indicators out of Japan, mortgage delinquencies out of the U.S. at some point. Monday, there's nothing else all day. Monday night out of New Zealand, visitor arrivals, bank lending and current account out of Japan. NAB business confidence out of Australia, 30-year bond auction out of Japan. Going into Tuesday, I've got the economy watcher sentiment number out of Japan, final CPI out of Germany along with their WPI at 2 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. PPI out of Switzerland, foreign direct investment out of China. We've got the unemployment rate out of the UK at 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday. German zoo economic sentiment, industrial production, and then NFIB, Small Business Index. Import-export prices here in the U.S. at 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday. I got money stock number out of Japan that night. Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia. Wage price index out of Australia. China's got their fixed asset investment and industrial production, retail sales, and unemployment rate. German preliminary GDP out of Europe. Preliminary machine tool orders out of Japan. French final CPI out of Europe. Flash GDP out of Europe. Flash employment change out of Europe. German 30-year bond auction. CAD, the Canadian CPI, all the CPI versions at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, along with retail sales here in the U.S. and the Empire State Manufacturing Index, followed 45 minutes later by capacity utilization and industrial production. We've got business inventories here in the NAHB Housing Market Index at 10, crude oil at 10:30, tick long-term purchases at 4, Japan's PPI number, Australia's unemployment number at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time going into Thursday. Over there, German president speaks, no big deal. Trade balance out of Italy and the broad European sector. Manufacturing sales out of Canada Thursday morning, along with their ADP non-farm employment change number. Housing starts and building permits, along with Philly Fed and the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers here in the U.S. At 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. We've got the Bank of Canada Financial System Review, Natty Gas here in the U.S., Treasury Currency Report here in the U.S. sometime Thursday, PPI out of New Zealand, Tertiary Industry Activity out of Japan, CPI out of Europe at 5 a.m. Friday morning here in the U.S., the ECOFIN meetings. We got the CB Leading Index and preliminary University of Michigan sentiment, and that's it. So none of our big three or anything like that. No Fed announcements, none of that stuff. It's just a straightforward trading week. We'll see what that means for a while. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading